Hello. Let's see. Oh, a little echoey for me, at least. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, I think that's better. Yeah, my knob wasn't all the way across. Okay, hello Ram, and hello Captain Spacey. Let's see. Mellow start. That's good. I'm doing much better today than over the weekend. I was like all kinds of nauseous and dizzy and kind of miserable. But I'm doing much better. The rest was good. Hopefully it doesn't happen again soon. Yeah, feeling better. Well, today I wanted to look at documentation more. I was looking a little bit over the weekend, but it was hard for me to focus, so I looked at like the fun sections. I can briefly go over it, but well, I looked at shader. No, not shader. Oh, I did my own research for shaders stuff, which is like color stuff. But let's see. There was documentation for particle effects. Oh, sorry. Eyeballs. Here we go. This was really exciting for me. Because so you know what particles are, right? They're like slightly randomized. You're able to set some settings for like little bits. You could have like a preset shape, like just a pixel or like a little shine or something like that. And you write code to randomize the movements in a certain way, so that way you don't have to animate everything yourself. You could just create and it looks better because it's randomized to an extent within your set parameters. Oh, thank God you're alive. I need some motivation. Hey McCoy, how you doing? I'm just looking at some documentation on Godot. And I wasn't feeling great this weekend, but I was able to look at particle systems that they have, because that's exciting to me. And they had some fun ones. So you can apply a texture to your particles and, you know, it'll look however you want it to. You can also use like a flip book, so you could animate something yourself and then it'll engage in that effect, but you could create like fireworks, for example. Let's see. Hey there, Tar. It's so good to see you. Oh, Ruby gives motivating vibes. I appreciate that. Like, honestly, that's the biggest compliment I could get. Because yeah, I've like, even before I started streaming, I was like, gosh, I hope I can like do stuff that makes people feel like they should do the things that they would like to do, or maybe it's hard to do the things that they need to do, but having some company would help. And like that's just awesome to hear. What I was really so this is neat. It lets you like choose. This is standard stuff for particles, but like I didn't know much about particles, but it lets you choose like how long it quote lives. So like this one has a short lifetime, This one has like a longer lifetime. And let's see. I did update the subscriber badges. Yes. It wasn't looking that great before. So I just did a zoom in on the Borb faces because I thought it looked cuter, and I added like a little border for fun. And now the Borbs are looking at us. They were originally looking that direction, but now you can really see that they're looking there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was like a little thing I did over the weekend when I was feeling up to it. Like, oh my gosh, I love how you can set little, like, little trail behind movement stuff. Like, that's fun. But here's what I'm actually the most excited for. I'll just skip to the thing I'm really excited about. So I'm fairly sure this is how Cassette Beasts did their, glitter type. You know, the pink, hold on, flashbang warning. Glitter set beasts images. Oh, no flashbang. But yeah, this. See these little guys? Actually, I could get a little video of it happening. Because I was looking at this to try to draw comparison. But yeah, you see how it has like the little sparkly effect? That's probably just particles. They didn't animate that. That's just particles. And I didn't, like, it's probably obvious to other people. But this was really exciting to me. Yeah, but now they are looking. Gosh, maybe I should like create one that has like those kinds of eyes. I've been considering making something like that emote, McCoy, because I love that emote. I use it all the time. Like, oh my gosh. I mostly use it for when I'm super excited. But yeah, it's just such a cutie. I was braced strongly for Flash, but it looks so cool. Oh, it does? Yeah. It's, well, shoot. Does it reopen? Yeah, it will. Yeah, it's neat. Oh, that's right. You didn't see me playing Cassette Beasts. I'm going to play more soon. Because I never got through the post game. And I also want to just replay it for, what's it called? Just for the sake of, like, there's also like randomization and stuff like that. But yeah, I love that effect. It's gorgeous. I want to be able to use that effect for like my version of shinies in this game. Right? It's like, he's like, wee! But like locked on. Yeah, exactly. That'd be cool to see me play. Oh, good. Yeah. I'll be playing more of it. I love that game. It's like lots of fun. But yeah, so I'm super excited because I love like the look of glittery stuff. And when I played Cassette Beasts, I was like, oh, I love this glitter type. I wish it came in more than purple. No, sorry, pink. And so I would like have a random chance that probably just the main body color gets glittery. And it's just like, oh, this is, yeah. So I want to apply this this kind of effect onto the creatures in the game that I am working on. Okay. So far less exciting is licenses. I should oh no, I did read this. Excellent. We can skip it. We can skip it. Because I've done it already. Okay. I do need to learn about versioning though. Make creatures sporkle. Make them fabulous. Oh, woo, legal jargon, the most fun. Well, you know, it's good to know. I did read through it. Luckily, I'm primarily using plugins if I'm using other people's work. So I'm able to, at the end of the project or like at the end of my first version, I can double check all of those and see what I'm using within the document. Important jargon, just a lot. Luckily, I have some basis of understanding because I, for a span of time, was looking at writing books, and I read a lot into like reading up on stuff, and also I studied well, I was in a master's program, so I also know a little bit about this sort of stuff because I had to like write papers and all that sort of stuff. And I just like did extra work to learn about this. It's kind of weird. I read into licensing and whatnot to better understand like how much information I can use within a paper and all that sort of stuff. Let's see. So probably far less amusing than ooh, pretty sparklies. Oh, mission colors. What the heck is that? You're not gonna give me a picture. Captured from pixel will cause the particles to inherit color of the mask at their spawn points. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting concept. Okay. But yeah, so I've looked at like how people version their programs before because I love being organized. Like physically my environment not organized at all, but I try like in a digital space to be fairly organized. I like creating systems. I don't always follow the systems, but I like creating systems. Okay. So oh yeah. So this is Godot's specific release system. Oh, I looked at this too. It's not what I thought it was, but it gave me like good guidance. So of course, like I always knew that the major update is like the first number, and then sometimes there's just a second number after a decimal place. And that's like for more minor changes, but I never knew like what the like I didn't understand what it was when there were 3 numbers, so it seems like it's generally like patches for the 3rd number. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I looked at more than I thought I did. Documentation change log. So this is their change log. But it's a good reminder you should always document what you're changing within each version. Okay. So I guess I'm done with the about stuff. That's neat. What engine? Well, we already oh gosh, this is new information. Wow. It's a little repetitive, but at least it's super clear, like what's going on and whatnot. Let's see, this article is going to help you figure out whether Godot would be a good fit. Okay, cool. So it's general purpose 2D, 3D games or programs. Oh, game engine, yeah. But some people make non-games. Also create console games, although you need strong programming skills. Or a developer to port the game for you. Oh, this is fun. This is like on rails shooter, specifically like as a flying setting. Whenever I think of an on rails shooter, I think of more like that zombie game where you're a person walking in an environment. But I forget that these like flying games are also on rails shooters. Does anyone here like on rails shooters? I think they can be fun. I think I prefer the theming of like walking and exploring an environment that way. I've thought of making a little on rails thing. They're neat. Not too familiar with them, but sounds cool. I was interested at a point in making a lot of mini games associated with slimes, because I just love the way slimes look, and I was thinking about like basically an on rails shooter mini game where slimes are actually trying to run away from you, and when you hit them however much times with your like little suction gun thing, then they get suctioned into your gun. So instead of shooting them, you're like collecting them. I'm not sure how much sense that makes though. That sounds cool. Oh, I appreciate that. But I'm glad that I'm doing something more like a virtual pet thing, because even though some of it does get complicated, like the color replacement system is actually kind of complex for, you know, for starting out, because there's so many choices I can make for how to do the color replacement system. So it's not really a challenge of like how hard it is to code, but rather a challenge of making the best choice for the system I have. Yeah, on Rails collectathon. Yeah, basically. Yeah. But yeah, so there's some things in this system I want to do that are challenging, but it's more like a design aspect of being challenging. Congratulations on winning 5. You know that those do despawn too, so it could have disappeared before you got it. Let's see. Yep. Pixelrama. That looks so cute. I love that. What a little cute game. Let's see. Oh, voxel stuff. I actually love voxel stuff. If I ever did 3D, I would probably start with voxel art. Like, I think it's so fun. But you know me, I'm just like, I guess I'm just obsessed with squares. I know, I was sweating. I was trying so hard. Actually, a 2.5 game in a voxel setting would probably also be kind of cool. Because I know sometimes people incorporate actual 3D. Like, so there's Cult of the Lamb, which actually I can't remember if that's actually, I think it is actually 2.5D, where the environment is 3D, but like everything that's put down is just a 2D sprite. And it's just like everything is angled in a 3D way. So like the floor is on one plane, which is like the flat ground underneath. And then the sprites on top aren't quite perpendicular. They're like at a slight slant for the camera angle to be able to effectively see the ground and the characters. But then there's other people who will actually put like a park bench that's true 3D, but just like the sprites or some of the other details of the environment are properly 2D. So that would be neat. In fact, I wonder if some of those do use voxel shapes. I'd have to look into that. How does it work and look? It's a game editor, integrate tools, blah blah blah. Code editor. Oh, there's a plugin for being able to use, what is it? Game visual or visual something or another in Godot. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like your compiler, I think. I know people don't call it a compiler these days, but that's like what I was taught in high school. The team strives to offer feature-rich game editor. You can work with external programs. Oh, VS Code, that's it. They maintain plugins. Oh, that's interesting. We officially support importing 3D scenes designed in Blender and maintain plugins to code in VS Code. Yeah, VS Code, my beloved. I was actually thinking of you, McCoy. Loathed. Oh, did I disconnect for a little bit there? It was like confused. Well, looks like we're still good. I'm both learning a lot and very confused. The more I know, the more I don't know. Didn't seem to disconnect. Awesome. Visual Studio is great, but it often runs like butts. Excellent. We like butts around here. Just the life of game dev. I forget, Captain Spacey, how much like are you generally? Oh, that's right. So you have a project? No. I can't remember. How familiar are you with Cody stuff? Let's see. Plugins for these things. For GDScript and C#. Okay, I'm a little confused about that actually, because they don't only support GDScript and C#, they also support C++. I wonder if that's just accidentally excluded, or you have to go through another avenue to use C++. They also support Visual Studio for C# on Windows. I'm interested in potentially making a game in the future, but I'm not very familiar with game dev Cody stuff. Though I do have some coding graphic design knowledge. Oh, got it. You probably know more than I do in terms of the coding. Most of the stuff I'm doing right now is... Wait, which sentence was it you had a question about? Okay, so there's... We officially support... We maintain plugins to code in VC Code. We also support Visual Studio for C# on Windows. Is Visuals... Oh, Visuals... I was reading something about this. Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code is different, right? Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's the confusing thing that I figured out the other day. Okay, cool. I understand. So VS Code does, like, the VS does stand for Visual Studio, but it's unrelated, I think. Careful flashbang potential. Potential. Oh, we're safe. We're good. We're hunky-dory. Oh, it doesn't, like, give me infos. How dare they? Rude. GD shader. Syntax highlighting. I love syntax highlighting. OMG. I like colors. VS Code is more like lightweight and used for non.NET C# projects. Well, then here they say maintain plugins to code in VS Code. Let's get this for GD script and C#. So apparently in this situation, they're like, you could do C# in there. Oh, that's right. I think someone said that in their mind, VS Code was like a glorified notepad. Hello, Maroon. How are you doing? We're doing some co-workings. Or just listen to me blab about programming. Programming languages. You can code your games in GD script, which is similar to Python. Or C#, which is popular in the game industry. With the Godot GD extension technology, you can also write gameplay or high-performance algorithms in C or C++ without recompiling the engine. You can use this technology to integrate third-party libraries and other software development kits in the engine. I see. Why bonks? Oh, reach bonk. Okay, that's a justified bonk. I have no idea about nerdy computer stuff, but I will watch happily. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just I'm occasionally commenting on stuff. Oh, let's see, you lost the game. There are 2 ways to write error-free programs. Only the third one works. That's a heckin' good one. By the way, awesome username, you lost the game. Do you have a preferred nickname? Or do you prefer your full username being used? Also, welcome on in. I appreciate you chatting. Let's see. Local Bat says, Ruby is a great co-working streamer, but local Gecko disagrees. I was put in a deli cup and my home invaded. Let's see. Call them game. Okay. My name is Lost or None. My pronouns are she, they. Oh, it's very nice to meet you. My pronouns are, honestly, I'm cool with she, they as well. I usually think of myself as she, her, but I'm totally cool when people call me they. They, them. His tank is clean now, but he really hates the deli. Yeah. Oh, did I ever tell you? Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. How do you annoy a web developer? So let me just be clear. I have very little experience with code. I'm reading documentation for Godot specifically because I have very little knowledge, and I'm learning stuff. It's really cool. Let's see. Ram, my gecko. Gecko. There was a time that ants invaded his enclosure when he was a baby. He was fine, but like they were going after his food. This was like at my parents' house. And so I like really quickly took him out and shoved him into his original deli cup, and it had been a month since like I had purchased him, so he had grown a bit. And the poor boy this was the only time I heard him scream. Yeah, there were ants. But so I put him in his deli cup, and I also wasn't very like confident in handling him yet. And as I closed it, he went, eh. It was like really cute. Poor baby. Lost. Okay, cool. It's really good to know that. I should write that down. Wait, is my chat broken? Normally I have chat above my head. That's weird. He came in a deli cup? I didn't know how reptiles are transported. So yeah, generally chat just broke. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I could refresh it? Is there a way for me to do that? I'll give it a moment. Let's see. Where is it again? Chat above head. Can I refresh it? I don't know what to do when it breaks. Properties? Huh. Oh, it broke as you fall. No, I don't. Well, maybe. But it didn't break before when people followed. It's all good. Let's see. I have my old chat, I believe. Oh, I don't. Well, I could plug it in. Let's see. Go on lurk while working. I appreciate you, Shrimp. Thank you so much for the lurk. Stream elements. Not gonna say my password out loud because that would be dumb. Not gonna say my email aloud because that would be really dumb. Where is it? The overlays. Which, yeah, this is the correct one. Copy URL. And browser. Is it browser? Do I do browser? Yes. Chat. Twitch. Stream elements. Okay. One. Oh. 180. 1080, my bad. 1080. 1920? Okay. Properties. Yeah, that should be right. I don't know where it'll show up though. Edit. Oh yeah, it should be in the right spot. Test. There we go. Cool. So not as good as the other one, but it'll work. Excellent. Crisis averted. So let's see. Where... Oh, so the whole thing about the deli cup. I actually got Cinder from a reptile expo. But when so a lot of times reptiles are shipped to people, and actually that can be less stressful than going to, like, being packed up and brought to a reptile expo. But this was a fairly local breeder. It wasn't that big a deal. So they usually come in like a deli cup that has holes in it. If they're shipped to you, they can come in a box that has like insulation and holes poked through both the holes and the insulation. And the insulation is to make sure that it's a consistent temperature. And depending on the weather, they might put heat packs inside, or little, not a bottle of water, but something with water in it. Sometimes a bottle of water, to be honest, because water is really good at maintaining a consistent temperature as well. And basically they just don't ship reptiles if it's outside of a safe range. And the reptile itself will be inside either like a drawstring bag or a pillowcase that has a knot on the top, or it'll be in a deli cup generally. Let's see. I love buying animals from delis. Let's see. Valkyrie was... Oh, Valkyrie. Yeah. 3 years old when I got him at the end of 2022, and he came in a deli. The base of it was bigger than my palm, so a little bit snug, but he came to me with no tail, so not the worst. Plus, if they're being shipped, it leaves less space for them to be injured. Yeah, for sure. Say it out loud. No, I'm not going to say it out loud. Not my passwords, not my emails. The caffeine. I love caffeine. Anyone unfamiliar? Anytime a reptile is shipped, it is always next day arrival. Yes. That's a fantastic point. Larger snakes come in bags, yeah, with insulation, etc. In bags secured with a zip tie or a knot. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of really safe practices for shipping reptiles, and you have to specify on the package that it's a live reptile. And if it's venomous, generally speaking, you have to specify on the package that it's a venomous snake or venomous creature. And then there's a whole other slew of things you do for safety if it's a venomous creature. Unless it's a hognose snake, those are like rare-fanged and not very venomous. Like, it's an excuse me venomous snake. Hydrate? Hold on. Why is my TITS not working? Hold. Everything's breaking today. Let's see. Hydrate. Test. There we go. It should work. I don't know what's up with that. First and foremost being, have your correct licensing and handling practice, please. Always verify your buyer also has these things. It's weird it didn't work. Yeah, it is weird. My save my work isn't working either. Huh. That's weird. It has to be something changed. Let's see. Should I fix it or should I just move on from this and fix it another day? Hydrate. Okay, I need to look at the names of these. Yep, that's the correct name. Huh. I'll have to look at this another time and or I could close this program and open it up again. Close. I have so much scuff today. Oh, I should make this layer invisible because people will laugh at the name of this program. Getting coffee, very sleepy. Very eepy sleepy. Yes, McCoy. Okay. Throw a lizard at me. Or I can do it. Hold on. I should make it visible. Yeah, you did it. Although, oh, there it goes. Okay. There's also, if you're 3D like me, there's Vignon. And, I might swap over to Vignon because it takes care of VC face and also the throwing application. Like, it's the only reason I haven't yet is just because if I'm 2D, then this program works with 2D. I think there is a way to make Vignon take a 2D model as well, but I would be like connecting it. I would be taking the spout to and connecting it into Vignon, and then it would go to OBS. I think that works though. Let's see. TITS in the chat. Let's see, there's other, let's see, Inviso Limzard. Yeah, Inviso. What's the program you want to switch to called? Vignon. There are other programs is thick. Yeah, Vignon, the reason I would swap is only because then I would have one less program when I'm using my 3D model, and it's my most commonly used model. Because Vignon does both the processing of like the tracking and stuff, but it also does like throwing and also really cool environmental stuff. Like I could get someone's asset of like a hand grabbing the model and like pulling it away or something, or like slime falling down, like you know the green slime from Nickelodeon. Like I could do something like that. Yeah, that would be handy. Oh, hey there, Real Sky Ninja. How you doing? Okay, I'm gonna get back to it. Enough scuff. I'm gonna just throw one more Limzard for the road. Yeah, that works now. Cool. Good, excellent. Just so y'all know, because I'm reading, I'm trying to not read every single word like I did last stream. But if I read for extremely long periods of time, then my eyes will start to like get really fatigued because I have poor eye convergence. I have weak muscles in my eyes. And so I have to take breaks. I have a redeem for that now. But I get lost in the sauce because I'm having fun reading this. Not sure why other engineers here don't use sig figs when designing, but it makes It loses my mind. Thank you so much for the I rest. What's it? What did I call it? I tried to make a pun. I rest now. Yes, I rest now. I don't understand what you mean by like sig figs for designing engineering stuff. I know what sig figs are. I think. I didn't know that was a thing. Which one? The eyeball redeem thing? I added it I think also over the weekend. I was more productive this weekend than I recalled. I felt maybe it was just like in my haze of not feeling good. I was just more productive than I thought. Wow. Okay, back to work. What do I need to know to use Godot? Let's see. There's a lot to learn. You need good programming foundations. Yeah, knowing how to think like a programmer first. I know some stuff, but basically I feel like I have to ask my programming friends, like, hey, I'm thinking about designing something this way. Does that sound like a good way to do it? But I don't want to bother anyone too much. Let's see. Object-oriented programming paradigm. Yeah, so there's like a hierarchical system that Godot really relies on, and it's called object-oriented programming. Really cool because it's modular. Some people are not a huge fan of it, but ad break. No. I think how you can't read normally. Oh. I can read normal. Well, I should repeat this. I can read, but yeah, I get double vision when I'm reading. Basically, anything that can go wrong with the body does for some people. Instead of 34.12 by 14.2, it's blah 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 blah. Also, the accuracy we have here is 2 1/16. So more stuff should be some solid numbers and in fractions. Oh yeah, it should be fractions and whatnot. First time I hear something like that as well. Iris for the iris. Iris. Oh, iris. Oh, I like it. I like it. I should write that down. Hold on. I will put that in my little note over here. Okay. Let's see. Gotta hop. Wanted to say hi because I may miss rest of today's stream. Well, thank you so much for hanging out, Sky Ninja. I'm gonna reply to you just in case you have an ad. Thank you so much for hanging. Ad break theoretically ends in a few seconds. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a fantastic day. Ah, you can hear me. Excellent. So silly. Bum. If you're entirely new to programming, we recommend the CS50 courseware from Harvard University. It's a great free course that will teach you everything you need to know to be off to a good start. It will save you countless hours and hurdles of learning any game engine afterward. Okay, how long is it? So they recommend 10 weeks. I might concurrently do this, but I don't want to wait 10 weeks to start. Oh, you're an ad blocker person, sadly. It's all good. In CS50, you will learn multiple programming languages. Do not be afraid of that. Programming languages have many similarities. You still learn with one language transfers to others. No, it's free. It's a free course. That was part of like their whole thing is we recommend this. It's a free course. Yeah, gooch. My Mins is so angry that I took him out and cleaned his tank that he fully fired, and you can see how dark his scales get. Oh, cool. But also how unfortunate that is angry. Maroon. My booty wouldn't do all this reading. Reading through the documentation or doing like a course. How does it like start? Open courseware. That's cool. How dare! My child. What do you want? Are you depressed? Because I fed you earlier. You're not hungry, I don't think. No, you just want a little attention? Okay, I'll give you a little. You can play with this toy. Here. Let me get you a toy to play with. It's my Tama. Just so you know. Okay, you could play with this fan. Have fun. I love that you censored my comment. It was honestly funny. Well, you know, if some people around here like to count that as evidence. So, and then they like clip me and put it as evidence towards slipping up. Same, I would just go find the answer. I had a question too, but my strategy isn't always the best. I mean, stuff like this, if I hadn't read through documentation, clips you in Discord calls, because you can do that now, fair. Yeah. For people who don't know, I actually curse like a sailor. I still do light cursing in the Discord voice channel, but I do curse. Let's see. But yeah, like I wouldn't have realized some of this stuff if I wasn't reading documentation. Like I would have just hand animated like sparkle effects. But instead I could just use particles in a masked way. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why strategy isn't always the best, but I also am going from 0. So I think it's better for me to read through stuff. Let's see. Had a meeting with the assistant engineer manager real quick. He agreed with me and it'll be added to our next meeting. Excellent. Thank you, McCoy. Disclaimer, I would never. That's weird. Curse like American curses, or like your third child shall be born with no feet kind of curses. Oh, you know. My GD teacher said to do the same. It's always best to find an easier way to learn by looking for it yourself. It's entirely fair. I think there's like both, right? So I'm getting inspiration for different techniques I can use in either future projects or my current project. And if I also did the same thing when I was trying to figure out how to do color swapping with my preset palette. And I learned a lot. There's like three ways that people like to do it. And I'm trying to figure out which of those ways is most effective for my project. I'm leaning towards either simplifying the palette so it's just like how do I put it? It's a flatter color. So essentially, right now, some of my colors shift to another color when it gets darker or lighter. For example, like I have a yellow that in the darker shades, it shifts towards orange. With one method, I would have to simplify that to just being like a straight yellow, and then you tint it with either black or white. I don't really want to do that because I like the variety of color, but it might be faster to load and more modular than the other method I would prefer to use, which is indexed colors and just shifting the color set on the index. Well, can I, let's see. Well, I could not tell ya how many hours I would have saved in my life if I had just slowed down and read the documentation instead of being Mr. Must Go Fast Boy who never reads. Yeah. Ah, yeah, that's fair. You know, it's all good. I always, like, have weird typing stuff that happens when I'm in chat. I'm like, who put that there? Let's see. We will provide you with more Godot-specific learning sources in learning new features. Oh, interesting. I love this 2D particle system. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Next. And also, it's kind of fun. I know there's a few people in the chat, maybe not currently in the chat, but there are people in the community who are interested in you making games, or making a game, trying their hand. And I know they're learning from this as well, when they're here. Overview of Godot's key concepts. Every game engine evolves around abstractions. A game is a tree of nodes that you group together into scenes. You can then wire these nodes so they can communicate using signals. Oh, yeah. That's actually, I think, something Maroon told me about. I had a dream to one day make one of those really bad quiz games. Like, what kind of quiz game? Shrimp. I ran out of motivation to finish my chores. You know, take it as a rest. You're resting now. And revisit it. Let's see. What did I say? I think, was it you, Maroon, who told me that, oh, maybe it was, what's Ninja? Sky Ninja. Maybe it was Sky Ninja. But, no, I don't think it was Sky Ninja. But you explained what signals were, I think. I think one day I was like, I don't know what this means. And someone in chat said, oh, signals are how the nodes communicate. Revisit would be tricky because I need to do an oil change and drive to the store before 5 p.m. Well, you know, that's a lot to do in a day. I don't want you to... Like, it's important to space things out. To make sure you do, like, the most important things of the day. Well, I'm thinking of this in terms of oh, you did. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was you, Maroon. I should try to not guess who tells me stuff. Basically, a signal is part of how you wire the nodes to communicate with each other. The oil change is like 3 months overdue. I'm very upset with myself on that one. Oh, that's rough. I'm so sorry. Because it's hard to get that motivation. Like, I have trouble keeping up with the oil changes as well. Guess who told you that you are smart and cute? Oh, no, you. Meh. Thank you, McCoy. I will withhold the games I am referencing. Oh. Okay. Got it. Was it queso? Yes. But they both do it. Oil changes are hard to keep up with. It's difficult to maintain. Yeah. They both do it. I recall this. Okay. Yeah, so these are key concepts. Tree of nodes together into scenes. Signals. These, oh, 4 concepts. 1. Oh, yeah, 4. I got confused. Okay, scenes. In Godot, you break down your game into reusable scenes. A scene can be a character, a weapon, a menu in the user interface, a signal house, an entire level, or anything you can think of. Godot scenes are flexible. They fill the role of both prefabs and scenes in some other game engines. I changed my oil the other day and I filled every QTE moment. Oh. Don't know what that means. I don't know what much means, I suppose. Fair, not usually for me because mechanic training, but brains! Yeah, brains. The motivation to actually do it, yeah. Oh, is it like a engineering programming-y thingy? Drop the plug in. The oil pan failed to pull the drain pan up fast enough. Accidentally crushed my old filter. Oh gosh. What's a QTE? quick time event. Oh, I know what a quick time event is. Thank you. I don't know acronyms very well. Or abbreviations, whatever you want to call it. Because I think an acronym technically is supposed to spell out something like NASA. Like you say it. You don't say NASA. Or is it 2 S's? Crud. Whatever. I think I fail the properly drink out of a cup QT every day. I ever since getting my neurological problem, I should tell my doctor this. I choke on my water a little bit more. Not sure, like I occasionally aspirate. If I drink out of a cup, like directly in the cup. Like I think once a day, at least. And I didn't do that before I gained my disability. If I use a straw, I'm fine. But yeah, I should tell my doctor. I should probably do a swallow study. Liquid come too slow. I go, must tilt more. Tilt too much. Slip on my dumb face. Spill on dumb face. Oh. Ruby, you're a lark, not a fish. No. This is good. I'm cool. I'm cool with this. But yeah, I like cough on my water almost daily. Sometimes twice in a day. Ooh. Okay. It's cute. That's a little cute thing. You can also nest scenes. For example, you can put your character in a level and drag and drop a scene as a child of it. Level, player, hook. Do you have to put the player then into each level? I guess. It probably... You're probably like, I wonder if you're able to specify stuff about the character like at a higher level. And then you per level, oh sorry, plosive puh. And then I wonder, like, so you define a lot of the important character stuff, like, I don't know, if you have consistent character movement in the game, you do it at a higher level. And then I wonder if this could just be calling the player from a higher level node instead of copying all the code for the player into each level. And then you could put like the exceptions or specifications of the player within like calling it. Like maybe it's a unique placement on the map and you need to do that for each level or something. I shouldn't be laughing this much, but that is very funny. Oh yeah, the spill on face. Case and I called choking on water, forgot how to drink. Yeah, it's called aspiration, or to aspirate. But yeah, forgetting how to drink seems right. My daily quick time event fail is press X to remember tasks. Forgets multiple times. Yeah. That'd be the way. Aspirate? A sprite? You forgot how to sprite? Yeah. I aspirate. Well, what does it break down to? It's literally like breathing in something that's like a foreign object into your lungs is what aspiration is. So it could be with food or it could be with liquids. And honestly, it's something I should address because I could really hurt my lungs doing that if I'm not careful. Luckily, it's just water for the most part. But like if I do that with like a very sugary drink or something, or like when I'm drinking tomato soup, there's more stuff in there that, like, if that gets stuck, like water, it's just like, okay, there's more moisture. But if you get something like sugary or otherwise has like food matter, that can cause like more, it's a higher rate of like illness and stuff. Yeah, see a doctor and get that checked. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah. Perspirate, sweat, excrete, water liquid. So aspirate, vaporously intake water liquid. Hold on. Break downward. Aspirate. Okay. Medical. To draw in or out using a suction motion. So the piration is like piration, I think it's related to it's respiration. It's the aeration is definitely respiration. But asp, I'm not sure. Oh, the suck. Yeah, disgusting Apollo noises. I actually don't mind when he does it. Oh no, you're not dumb. I studied medical terminology, so I know some roots and stuff. I really should know what the asp. Oh, resp. So piration is probably the P. So the AS might be its own separate thing. Breathing in foreign object. Medical procedure, removing something from an area of the body. So air, body fluids. Thank you so much for the unshrimp. Can I show Apollo for those who don't know? I will show a picture. Well, I feel uncomfy showing other people's content in general, but he's a African gray. I could really quickly put a link in the chat. I'll do that. I feel comfortable doing that. YouTube. Oh. African gray. Let's see. Oh, I could show a really long thing, or I could find a cute little short. Let me just watch a couple. Okay. I like this one. Careful, this one's a little noisy. Be warned. Like turn down your volume. Apollo is an African gray, which a type of parrot. And his caretakers are trying to give him a lot of vocabulary in like a very systematic way. And I think their goal is to have him become, like, break the record for most words known by a bird. But I'm not entirely sure. Borb, don't call out people. The Borb gives me away. So sorry. Oh, thank you so much for the hydrate. I appreciate you. I'm trying to get into the habit of not calling out people when they drop in as a Borb either. I know a lot of people like being represented automatically on the screen. I might change it to you have to chat in order to be represented on screen. Like a singular chat. I don't want it to time out. I just want people to want to be visible. Yes. So Maroon, some parrots in particular so there's some very intelligent birds can learn that a word is associated with a certain meaning. And you know, dogs can do a certain amount of like, oh, food. When we say food, they're going to get their meal, for example. But African greys are known to be able to reconstruct sentences. For example, there was this one African gray who asked, "What color am I?" After, like, this was like an African gray who was known to be like the African gray that knew the most words and had the most intelligible conversations. There are limitations. Humans are extremely unique in terms of like language center. They wouldn't naturally create language. It's just, I think it's primarily a bunch of memorization, rather than a natural like language process. The only creatures I'm aware of that actually have language are like dolphins, because we've analyzed various whales, the whales in general. So dolphins are a type of whale. So we've analyzed their speech patterns, and we do see sentence structures. We don't know what they're saying, but their linguists have analyzed the patterns of their dialogue, and we've determined that they're saying sentences. Yeah, I was thinking just like one chat per stream to be visible. Exactly. No, I think you're correct, McCoy. I think even that particular African gray has memorized like if they say this string of words and apply another word to it, they get an answer. They don't have when we analyze their brain, they don't have a huge, like, language center, for example. Well, squids communicate, but not all communication is language. So they, like, there's a lot of forms of communication, right? Like body language, and like birds might do a certain movement or a call to try to communicate that they're ready to mate. Yeah. But it's not necessarily an entire language. It wasn't my master, but I did study psychology. And, like, I had particular interest in cognition and neuroscience when I was in undergrad. Which is funny because I gained a neurological disorder. Honestly, I'm sometimes fascinated with what my body does. I only know a few phrases. So true, bestie. Based. Oh my god. This is the worst day of my life, and what am I doing? My phrases are that's rough. You're so delightful. What else do I say a lot? Excellent. Yes, I do. Bodies and brains are interesting. Yeah, they are. Do I say ayo? Glorious. I appreciate you. Oh yeah. I appreciate you is a big one. Oh, you do. Got it. Nodes. Same shrimp. A scene is composed of one or more nodes. Nodes are your game's smallest building blocks that you can arrange into trees. Here's an example of a character's node. Oh, so they're putting, oh, wait. Oh, I see. So yeah, the character node is here, and then there's nodes underneath that node to develop a tree. It is made of a character body 2D node named player, a camera 2D. Oh yeah, so sometimes they use confusing language, but I like that they have a 2D specific camera. In Unreal, you really have to, you use a 3D camera, and you just have to position everything so that your scene is like like straight on, and then your camera is completely perpendicular to the scene. And then, gosh, like the collisions, you have to use 3D collisions on your sprite. It's really bothersome. Like, if I could make this work, that'd be top tier. Ruby and I also have the habit of asks a question, I'm interested. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I add the I'm interested because I feel like I'm a little more genuine when, like, I'm not just asking a question to try to get you to stay or something. Like, I'm genuine in finding out. Yeah. Steals a phrase from people when I spend enough time around them. I just collect everyone's phrases. That's true. We're all just birds. I keep saying my friend Wilshire's phrase, mind your business. That's not for you. Oh yeah. That's great. Now if my cat would Say I only... Oh, yeah, if your cat would say stuff. That's food? Dummy. Little stupid baby. Wow, so good. Cute. I love you. Yeah. Litten goes, you're so weird. Yeah, yeah. And stinky. Oh, yeah, I added so I don't sound rude or angry. I feel blessed that people generally find my voice to sound positive. Like that I'm in a good mood. I'm not always in a good mood, but I generally sound like I am. It's its own curse, I suppose. Let's see. I read. Oh yeah, that's actually top tier suggestion. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly look at another point. I'm gonna look at my window. Looking. Staring. Mesmerized. Okay, I'm gonna look at this water bottle now. Yes. This is the content. Okay, I think I'm good. I wish that was the way for me. I have a weirdly condescending voice from what I hear. Oh. Yeah, rest those eyeballs. It's hard when people have like a flatter tone in general. It's harder for people to read emotions in it. And so they assume an emotion, right? And generally the assumed emotion is more on the negative side. Say, oh, thank you so much for the limzard. Same, but I don't mean it. It's just some... Ah, yes, yes. I'm told I don't use full words sometimes. I just cut stuff short, yeah. Unite. No, I agree. McCoy has a nice voice. However, it is like sort of thing where if you don't realize that, because I don't think McCoy has a particularly flat tone. But there is like it's a calm range, right? And if you're not familiar with that, it gets like confused. Yeah, calming voice. Well, so I feel like calm and like with reduced range of like tone, it can like be interpreted as like extremely calming, but it can also be interpreted as like potentially a negative emotion. And I generally am thinking more along the lines of calm tones. They don't have a flat tone, but they have a sass to them. It's true. There's some sass, but it's fun sass. No one can get this. Oh, did the star disappear? Oh no, never mind. It got caught. Excellent. Yeah, you were auto-modded. Yeah, it's fun. Thank you, dyslexia. Okay. So I'm gonna learn about nodes. Send nodes. Yeah, so I guess you have to set the camera to it and sprite and then collision shape. The node names end with 2D because this is a 2D scene. There's 3D counterparts. Be aware that spatial nodes are now called Node 3D, starting with Godot 4. Interesting. Godot provides an extensive library of base node types, and you can combine and extend to build more powerful ones, 2D, 3D, or user interface. You will do most things with these nodes. I honestly love the way this is organized. It's pretty logical to me. And one of my challenges with more traditional style of programming is I get like visually overstimulated. Based node types. I didn't know they were cool like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, base node types. Based and red pilled. The scene tree. I almost said scent. But then I was like, I'm not reading that right. There's no need for scent here. Wait, no? I don't know what red pilled means. Oh no. I'll have to look that up later. Oh, is it like political alignment? No, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just shy. That's such a good emote. The oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. The Matrix. Red pill and blue pill. I love it, Captain Spacey. Let's see. I think I finished. No, wait. Okay, scene tree. All your game scenes come together in the scene tree, literally a tree of scenes. I am the sand guardian, guardian of the sand. Poseidon trembles before him. Don't trust anyone who uses red-pilled or black-pilled. Actually, the red pill, I think, is seeing the world, which truly is basically one of the pills represents estrogen. I don't know the movie. Frick off. I usually say fluff off. Yeah. I remember that's the red pill very specifically because in the Matrix, because my older brother loves blue and he was always disappointed that the blue pill wasn't the correct Or like the seeing it as it is pill. I love using Sigma grind set stuff. Ironically, it's so dumb. It's true. It really is. Let's see. And as scenes are trees of nodes, the scene tree also is a tree of... Wait. Hold. I need to read these sentences together. All of your game's scenes come together in the scene tree, literally a tree of scenes. And as scenes are trees of nodes, the scene tree is also a tree of nodes. Aight. But it's easier to think of your game in terms of scenes as they can represent characters, weapons, doors, or your user interface. Shrigma males. I like saying Sigma grind set stuff than making making it gay. Sometimes male-ish. Me and my Sigma grind set. I love the small emo. It's so cute. Yo, I'm not up to date with modern lingo and slang. Only to, like, I know what Sigma grind set is and stuff like that. But I don't know all the things. Though my fiancé keeps calling me a beta and I'm offended, heartbroken, devastated. Oh no. Oh, hey Wilshire, how you doing? Ah, rats. Nad. Huh, well, I think a lot of the active folks... Oh no, poor Captain Spacey. Sad. Rip. F's in the chat for all the people who have ads. No. Oh, okay. I've seen some of the... How do you pronounce it? Skibbity the toilet. I saw some... Skibbity. I think it's Skibbity. I saw some of it, but I don't understand it. I would bet money that Rippy has never any of the slang related to... I don't know what look maxing is. Doing well, just vibing and work on stuff. Excellent. I'm getting largely distracted, but also periodically reading some documentation on Godot. Honestly, so based for that. Oh. Gooning. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know what these words are as an old lady. No. But, just letting you know, try to keep it, like, fairly light, because while I'm not necessarily a properly family-friendly stream, I prefer to try to keep it pretty light. Comfy cozy. Y'all can curse though. You're also lost. Excellent. Given your response, I'm gonna take it you know that one. I don't know that one. I just suddenly realized that there's probably some slang that people are gonna say that is a little on the spicy side. No, thank you, Maroon. I appreciate you. You're better off not knowing these terms. Some cause psychic damage. Psychic damage. Yeah, you can battle each other. I don't know how to do it. I'm bad stremmer. Let me look. It's a duel, I think. I think you do it by dueling and then like adding them. Attack. Oh, I don't, is it attack or is it duel? Duel. Yeah, it's duel. Exclamation point duel at. Now Don Queso is not active in chat, but it's a good example point. So you have to respond with accept, exclamation point, accept or decline, or just ignore it and it'll go away. Oh, I think there's a cooldown, unfortunately. I should fix that. Yeah, I don't have any bosses yet, but I would love to take a stream or so to work on creating a boss. Or maybe we could fight the pets. Hello, Jacob. Jurassic Jacob. How you doing? Okay, someone else can duel now, I think. Thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate you. I think it was because you could only have one duel going on at a time. Thank you so much for the hug. I appreciate it, Tar. Yeah, there we go. Oh. It's too late. Oh, wait. You have to do exclamation point, accept. Captain Spacey. Excellent. Sorry. I know, I'm so sorry, it was Wilshire and it's similar color. What's up, McCoy? Well, I'll let you know that you did not say anything spicy. I appreciate you. Thank you. Get wrecked, space. I'm built different. Alright, so yeah. Any given, like, any one, wait. No, they come back. Don't worry, they come back. You come back, don't worry. But yeah, so that confirms to me at any time, if there's a duel request in progress or a duel in progress, then you can't duel someone else. But as soon as the duel is over or it gets declined, someone else can request a duel. You like the birds? I appreciate it. It's stream avatars. I made them myself. If you do exclamation point use, then you'll use a item like Tar is doing right now. He has a key Tar. Just so you know though, not all of the items in the extension have a picture associated with them right now because I need to upload pictures for those essentially. If like a item is not in the first frame of animation, then it's just has a blank picture for it. Seeing stream avatars, forgot you essentially make your own. Yeah, it's cool. I've made stream avatars for a friend named Slime Waifu. And I started fiddling with it for McCoy, but I need to get back to it. Oh no. Maroon has to ban themselves now. No. The duels are fun. I might do it as a redeem in the future. And so that way people don't try to like randomly duel each other in the chat. Oh. Why is it? Try again. Or maybe I can do it. Attack at. Was that Ram? Yes, Ram. Huh. Queen board, yeah. Oh, that's right. You can just attack. She retaliates. Duel. Okay, I'm gonna read more. Oh, but I'm curious of the outcome. What happens? This is the ultimate showdown. Okay. Oh. Oh. Go, Ram, go. Ah. Oh, you can do it. Ah. Ah. Look at you. You did it. Rip. Okay. Yep. Explode. I love it. They have a lot of really cool automatic automations. Yeah. Back to study session. Excellent. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Sorry, I got really close to the mic that time. McCoy, do you want... I could. My mic can probably do better than my last one. McCoy, you're so sweet. I appreciate you. Let me look at... We good. It's all good. I'm cool with people asking that. We're right, at least currently we're such a small community. Yep, Gouda Dot. I feel like such a dingus. Star Platinum. Because, so, oh gosh, sorry. Flashbang. There was an effect I really liked in Cassette Beasts. And I thought they animated it by hand. But it's probably actually a particle effect. The sparkling. It's probably a particle effect that's masked on top of that specific color, like set of colors. And because they also have a mask for it to color swap with other stuff. And I learned about like essentially masking and keeping the particle effect within the mask. So we do be learnings. Yes, but etiquette. I appreciate you. I'm glad that I'm able to stream today. I like streaming on Mondays. Gudat. Gudat. I get it. It's funny. Go doot. Signals. Nodes emit signals when some event occurs. This feature allows you to make nodes communicate without hardwiring them in code. It gives you a lot of flexibility in how to structure your scenes. Oh, there was one thing about the color swapping that I want to figure out for myself. Essentially, there's like 3 ways to do it, but there's 2 that I'm considering. Or like 3 ways that I can think of through research. There's 2 ways, and I prefer the index placement method. But there's another way where I'd have to make the colors flatter, essentially. And just like shift the hue, and it automatically shifts the hue for all the values. But you have to make them all the same, like, color, essentially. Just with, like, a little more white or a little more black. Because... And you can't shift the hue within that scheme, because it would limit, like, the range of colors you're able to do, because, like... It can't go outside of the color range, essentially. And some of those combinations just won't look good. But it was weird. They were using... A lot of people used if statements in order to engage with, like, that process of picking the correct color. But apparently, then that forces the CPU to manage the color when it should be the GPU, because the GPU apparently can't handle if statements. So I'm trying to learn, like, how to not do that. Oh, well, I guess if I did the one range, it could be a float instead of if statement. I think that fixes it, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm doing lots of research. I'm trying to basically, like, I'm probably not going to make any more creatures until, wait, so an if statement to check what color to use for the part, no, for the creature. So let me pull up the creature. I need to open a sprite. Sprite. And oh, all my recent things were badges. Because no, not recover. No, I don't want to recover. Open recent. No, I can't do that. Open. Okay, I'm gonna go through the files. It's you. Okay. And you can't see it. But I will fix that. Right now. Where'd my ace sprite go? Oh, it's on the bottom. That's silly. Okay. So here I have like a creature. And if I want to be able to create a palette range. Like on one end of a spectrum, all the colors could be like a cream color. And on the other end, it could be like a dark gray or something. And each parent provides, so like purple would be somewhere in the middle, and then it breeds with like a green creature. Any color between green and purple, or green and purple itself, could be color swapped. And so maybe I could, I don't know if I'm able to like do that, set that in a previous section, like to figure that out, that range, so that the decision is already made by the time I have to call upon the character. And that fixes the GPU thing. But yeah, it's basically like the octopus could be purple, but it could also be pink. Or various other colors. But yeah, it's really like I understand this is a complicated thing to want to do. I do understand that. I have seen some plugins, so I might try the plugins, or I might try like an indexed mode where I set parameters with an index. It's various creatures. And I can't, so basically there's so many combinations to do what I would want. I would have to do many uploads, and it wouldn't be practical if I did it manually. So like this creature, you see how I use all the same colors? I want to be able to set like if you get a value for like grape, like I name it grape or something, and its number, like index, I don't know what the index number would be. But essentially I would have to set all like the purples to be defined. Well, I know I have to use a unique color palette that I won't use in game. And this is just like to be able to visualize it. It's already indexed. So I would be able to do that. Like I could color swap within this program extremely easily, but it's a matter of I need to create like a code way to do that within the program. Hello, Lord Am123. How are you? Welcome on in. Do you have a preferred name that you go by? Or do you prefer like just Lord Am? I can also say the numbers if you prefer. But yeah, I know what I'm trying to do is complicated. It's just having different assets in each color combination. Yeah, it would be a whole lot. So that's why I understand if I want to do this, I have to set it up through code. But yeah, I am looking at some solutions online. There are some things that I know I could do. It's just there was an interesting thing that I read that essentially you should never put an if statement within, I think it was within like a section, I don't understand it, but like a section of code for that you should be using for GPU, like visuals and whatnot, because the GPU can't process if statements, apparently. It was an interesting thing. Like, I don't know. I'm generally just fascinated by it, but also I should probably try to figure out what that means. I'm gonna read more into it, I think. Lord Am is fine. No need for number. Excellent. Excellent. Let's see. Did you join us during one of like the what's it called? Like game design streams or something along those lines? Let's see. Gonna toss that question up in the Godot pirate and see what the wizards got to say. I appreciate you. Oh, are you talking about Pirate Software's Discord? That's a fair point. I should ask people. I should really ask people stuff. Like, I like trying to read up on things, but I'm also probably misunderstanding some stuff. So it's good practice to both read up and try figure out stuff, and then ask other people for their input. But I've looked at, like, I know there's like 3 or so ways to do what I want to achieve. And there's 2 that I'm considering, which is a shader method or indexed color table. I think the performance hit on most GPU. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ask in there a lot. Also, don't be afraid of using ChatGPT, especially if you think it's something pretty simple you're not completely sure of. Yeah, that's fair. This just as a PSA to anyone who uses ChatGPT, I would generally say take inspiration from, and don't literally copy their code, because within their licensing, they own that code. So theoretically, if you use a significant amount of ChatGPT's code, it's not very likely, but they could go after you for like copy pasting their code, essentially. If you like your program is successful and that sort of stuff, and they somehow realize it. I've heard it's happened to people before, but I'm not entirely sure. I just know technically by like their licensing that can happen. So like use it as inspiration and for checking out like what kind of logical next step you might want to take, but try to do your own code if you can. Okay, so once again, that's really interesting. Also, that would be impressive to have that much one-for-one code from ChatGPT, considering it's a good starting point, but not always most functional. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So probably making those kind of adjustments is adequate, right? Make it standardized within your code. So that way, like, they use random integers and stuff like that. But you can learn from, yes, you can learn from ChatGPT code, for example. I've learned to code Discord bot, just see how other developer code in ChatGPT and Bing. Yes, definitely very useful. It's a tool. It's definitely a tool. But right, you want to take inspiration from, use it as a sample. Oh no, you good. You good, Darthor. It seems performance loss on most GPUs in regard to if-else statements is because of branching. The GPU can only execute one branch at a time, so just the if, but not the else. Oh, interesting. That's so interesting. Because when I was looking at stuff, everyone was like, so videos and like Reddit stuff that I read, I'm not actually looking at like anything official, but everyone was saying, oh, you're technically supposed to avoid if statements at all costs within like the rendering stuff, but I don't know. So if some GPU threads will use if and some will use the else, it can only do one at a time. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's really interesting. I'll have to look at that more. I guess it's not as simple as everyone said. But yeah, like they generally said, oh, it's like really bad practice to do this. I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, but we're still going to do it this way because it's the easiest way. I'm like, oh, okay. That's just a very cursory explanation that leaves out a lot of detail. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I appreciate you like y'all looking into that. I really do. You shouldn't do this, but we're gonna. That's common in a lot of things. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of that when I was in like grad school too, actually. Nodes emit signals when some events occur. This feature allows you to make nodes communicate with hardware. Oh yeah, I read that. Signals are Godot's version of the observer pattern. You can read more about this here. Okay, I'm not going to open that. Oh dear, I meant not to. But then I was like, I want to move it. I'm so sorry for flashbanging y'all. I was like, oh, I shouldn't open that. So that way I don't blind people with bright white if it's bright white. Oh, but I want to move it so I don't accidentally click it. Click. Click. Oh, that's weird. I guess it's not picking up my end K. I can hear that because I'm monitoring myself. Click. Okay. Because it's just like a puff of air essentially for the final K sound. My roommate's favorite phrase for programming is a temporary solution is permanent solution you haven't realized yet. Excellent. For example, buttons emit a signal when pressed. You can connect to this signal to run code in reaction to this event, like starting the game or opening a menu. It do be true. So for anyone who's lurking or isn't really familiar with what I'm up to, I view myself as artist first in this setting. And I know a little bit about programming logic. I learned a little bit of Java when I was in high school. Not really worth mentioning, but it taught me some of the logic. Like I loved flowcharts. I loved looking at flowcharts and trying to logic out what would happen, what can I do? And then the converting it into code was boring as it all could be. But I really, so I enjoyed trying to learn how to think like a programmer. And of course, I definitely don't know all the tools and stuff like that. I like a little scratch the surface kind of thing. But I want to take a whack at it, and I'm going to do it with a virtual pet game for stream. I got French fries for a late lunch. They're hitting different. I made the right choice. Excellent. We like treating ourselves around here. Other built-in signals can tell you when two objects collided. Oh, like an actual collision? When a character or monster enter a given area and much more. Okay, yeah, they did mean a collision. So you can also define new signals tailored to your game. So these are built-in signals. Information when two things collide. Two entities enter a given area. Okay. So like, for example, if you want an event to occur when your character plus like a boss monster enter a given space. Okay. Right on. Sounds cool. You got this, Ruby. I appreciate you. I find learning anything new is intimidating, but I try to dive in anyways. See what happens. Exactly. Exactly. Besides, it's cool. I'm seeing stuff that I'm getting inspiration. And I realized early on, probably my two biggest areas of like question mark. Question mark. There we go. I should change a setting to try to read that better. But anyway, I know that it'll be hard to do the Twitch integration portion. But there's plugins that'll help me. And there's also the color swapping that might be a little on the trickier side. I'm reading the flowchart for Olympiad. Oh, took a lot of time. Oh, is that a language or an engine? An engine, probably. I don't know. But it's interesting. If you love programming, I think it'd be a good experience. Okay, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna take a quick preview. Official science website for Science Olympiad. STEM organizations. Programming? Yes, yes. We're doing more reading. Flowchart. I should. Oh no, sorry. Oh, gosh. I'm just gonna close that. It's not worth it. I'll find it later. Flowchart. Single word? Flowchart? Okay. This one? Oh gosh, flashbang. Ah. How good is the flowchart in programming? Oh, cool. Nice. This is something that would be very helpful for me. Thank you. I'm gonna have another thing that's in danger of harming eyeballs. The danger tab. It's true. It's the danger tab. I try to respect people's eyes, but man, I'm failing. You know, more websites need to just do dark mode. Just do dark mode. It's so much easier on the eyes. Well, maybe there's some disabilities that it doesn't work out with as well. I'd have to look into that. You can connect a signal, run code, and Oh yeah, I already read that. Summary, nodes, scenes, the scene tree, and signals are 4 core concepts that you will manipulate all the time. Nodes are your game's smallest building blocks. You can combine them to create scenes that then you can combine and nest into scene tree. You can then use signals to make nodes react to events in other nodes or different scene tree branches. It's an international competition where you have to compete with others with computer science and programming and solve math problems with programming. That's very cool, Lord Am. Nice. I prefer light mode. I know I'm weird. I like the bright. My iPad is always on full brightness light mode, and I'm in what you call uncommon. I'm like illuminated by the heavens. Okay, I'm a bit weird. I like full brightness, but I like it dark mode. And when I use my Kindle, I use it pretty bright as well. I find the brightness helps with the clarity, but sometimes I use like yellow tinted like sunglass covers for my glasses, so it's like a clip-on, and I use the yellow tint because it actually helps my eye strain with eye strain, because I have all kinds of problems with my eyes. I have glasses, I have astigmatism, and like the muscles in my eyes are already strained because I have eye convergence problems, so I get double vision. Let's see. Hello, Oatmeal. How are you? We're co-working. Let's see. After a short breakdown, you probably have many questions. Bear with us. You'll get some answers throughout the Getting Started series. Woo! We do love co-working around here. Yep. I never thought that I would have so much engagement reading Godot's documentation. Like, it felt risky. I was like, I should do this on my own time, but I want to like talk about it. so I streamed it anyway. So I gained confidence last time. It was a fun time. I appreciate it. You're so sweet. You're so sweet, McCooey. But to know you. Co-working's generally the best. I appreciate it. Oh. There's some stinkiness in chat. I wonder how stinky Godot is. Stink. Narlin is not very stinky, like straight up. Stink, I do need a bit. Yeah, Narlin's not very stinky. He like doesn't sweat and stuff, as far as I know. Well, you know, he eliminates. That stuff's a little stinky. Cinder does have stinkier stuff. Why is it not working? Do it. I wonder if there's a brief cooldown. Oh, I think individual users have a brief cooldown. I could change that. God dang. I love that redeem. Cinderino. That's such a cute little nickname. Yeah, his like skin isn't stinky, but his excrements are quite smelly. I don't know why. When you launch Godot, the first one, you see, I've launched Godot, and it took me a while to figure out how to work the asset library. It turned out I needed to make a project before I could use the asset library within the program to download like plugins and whatnot. At the top of the window, there is another tab named Asset Library Projects. You can search for demo projects in the open source asset library, which includes many projects developed by the community. Me around all the stink, Superman inhaling kryptonite image. Random image, but I prefer the gecko poop over the dragon poop by a massive margin. You know, I think it depends on how usually it's dependent on how much protein they have, because usually the stinkiest portion is the protein. Cinder eats crested gecko diet that has insects in it as a high ingredient, because he's supposed to get a lot of insects. And then on top of that, he gets hornworms periodically. So he gets a good amount, but Narlin eats dog food, which also has a good amount of meat in it. So I really don't understand why Cinder's is so stinky, but Narlin's is like barely stank. Like, that is what I would expect it to smell like. Geckos eat Pangea red bag. Oh, my baby prefers figs and insects. Yeah, the dragons eat a lot of veggies. Yeah, it's true. I know sometimes veggies can have a lot of stinky stuff. There was a time that I did give Cinder the red mix, but like as soon as I gave him the figs and insects again, he like refused the red bag. Y'all, Chihuahuas are notorious for only wanting figs and insects. Like, it's actually an internet thing. People talk about it. And I believe them now. Although, theoretically, a lot of people say that they can the only protein they can get their Chihuahua to eat is crickets. And my boy eats hornworms all the time. But it might be because it was the first thing I introduced to him, and I really like he loves crickets because they move around a lot. He likes that. But I'm able to tongue feed him hornworms. Less consistent. Like he takes it a little less often, but like because like after eating it every other day for a couple days, he'll like start rejecting it. Let me try the fig and insects. Maybe Valkyrie will eat it. His original owner had trouble getting him to eat anything but the red bag. I mean, you can always try one of those smaller bags of it. I can't remember though. I think it's the red bag that like, oh no, I can't remember which one, but it's either the figs and insects or the red. But one of them smells absolutely delicious to me. And I'm like, I'm jealous. Smells good. Has anyone tried figs and insects is purple? Yeah, yeah. Red smells like fruity candy. Yeah, I thought it was red because I don't like salivate when I make the purple bag, the figs and insects. A lot of them smell good. Yeah, yeah. None of them smell bad to my knowledge. Let's see. When you open a new project or existing project, the editor's interface appears. Let's look at the main areas. By default, it features menus, main screens, and play test buttons along the window's top edge. In the center of this viewpoint, with its toolbar at the top, where you'll find tools to move, scale. I don't know if reading this, I probably just save this. Let's see, the docks. Yeah, we know about docks around here. I have a little familiarity with some interfaces because of like digital art and stuff like that. Breeding and growth formula is meh. Oh, is it? I almost tried that one. Because I think it has more calcium. Went from talking a lot about like game dev stuff to like Glecko care. File system. Okay, this might be a little more interesting, the file system. The scene doc lists the active scenes nodes. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Metal Knight. Nice to meet you. Dang it. How dare there be ads? It's rude. Wow. I guess anyone who's seeing ads won't hear this, but I'm curious as to what the ads are that you're getting. I'll ask after the ads. The scene doc lists the active scenes nodes. A root node. That's probably like the very base of a tree. The inspector allows you to edit the properties of a selected node. The inspector allows you to edit. Yeah. Bottom panel situated below the viewport is the host of the debug console, animation editor, the audio mixer, and more. They can take precious space. That's why they're folded by default. Okay. When you click on one, it expands vertically. Cool. Oh, the four main screens. There are four main screen buttons centered at the top of the editor. 2D, 3D, script, and asset lib. It's like library. Okay, you're back. Yay! Welcome for anyone who's lurking. and is not really familiar with myself, I'm Ruby Lark. I'm a bird tuber. Hashtag totally not a harpy. And on screen we have these borbs that if you're a follower, then you get to edit it. And how you do that is you look for the Stream Avatar plugin. If you're on mobile, then it should be on the top right of chat. If you're on desktop, you just hover the cursor over the video feed. And then you could change like the color of the body, the beak, the eyes. And you can do ! season to be gifted a lot of hats for free. No, not hashtag just a little Sharpie. I don't just a little Sharpie. Not a harpy. I said Sharpie. No, the star despawned. That's so sad. Stay harpy, stay Sharpie. That is a good saying if I were a harpy. And unfortunately, I had a wing-related accident that is only temporarily resolved when I'm 2D. So I cannot show you my wingles in my 3D form. And it's totally not because I need to learn Blender. Let's see, hold on. Oh, I didn't realize it. So this is cool for anyone, like well, shoot, anyone who's in here who's programming probably already knows this, if you're using Godot. But that's interesting to me that it makes sense. Blech, sense. But use 2D not only for 2D games, but also a screen where you have your interface, like your like menus. Blender scary? Yeah. Someone get a 3D doctor. A 3 doctor, you may say. Herb friend down. Yeah, it's true. And I'm very self-conscious, so I don't want to show my wingles. By the way, so my model is a Vroid, which is a program for creating it's kind of like a character creation, but for a 3D model that's humanoid. Generally more human shaped than other things. Gosh, I'm umming. Stop. But I used that program and I colored the textures myself. So I did like the color of my hair, my wingles. I colored the clothes, basically. Clothing, my eyes, all that stuff. I don't care about your 3D at this time. Honestly, I love 2.5D. That's gorgeous. I know that's generally, it's done in a 3D environment for the most part. It used to be that people would call 2.5D either like flat sprites within a 3D environment or 3D sprites within a 2D environment. But I think for the most part, people just consider 2.5D flat sprites in a 3D environment, or you're simulating it. That's a cool model. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, I should look that up. Oh, I've seen that before. Yeah. I've seen it. It's beautiful. I love 2.5D thighs lovingly at Star Ocean 2R. I love the style. It feels so charming to me. You get the depth of 3D. But honestly, I generally feel like 2D sprites generally age better. Let's see. Someone's sending me messages. Ruh-roh. Okay. Good. Oh yeah, I've heard about Star Ocean. I really need to actually start playing some of these. Generally, sometimes the older 3D models look rough. Yeah. Especially if they go for a very realistic style, like their attempt of a very realistic style. Cell shaded generally ages better than realistic, because what looks realistic that year, like 2 years later, it looks old. But I find like 2D sprites are generally gorgeous. Oh, this has like... So this is what I think of course, when there's coding. Rich auto completion. Oh yeah, I did hear people say that if you're using GDScript, the auto completion is really solid. Built-in code reference. Ooh. However, I know a lot of people suggest trying to branch into at least C#. SO2. You know what I want to play is Octopath Traveler 2. That was what really made me fall in love with the style. I understand that's Unreal, and so it has really fancy lighting and whatnot. You have to finish the first one. I never played the first one, but I know that as far as I know, the second one you don't need to play the first one in order to understand. And I felt like the first game was amazing. It's what made me fall in love with 2.5D. But I always felt like the mist in the background was too much. Yeah, the visuals are gorgeous. The second game, they refined it, and it's like perfect now. Like they did this really intense blurring. I think they still do some blurring in the background, but I think it's less intense now, if I saw stuff correctly. Yep, I know about the asset library. Integrated class reference. Oh, cool. They explain. You can search for information about a class, method, property, constant, or signal by any one of the following methods. press F1 anywhere in the editor. Okay. Clicking search help. Clicking on help menu and search help. Clicking while pressing Control key on a class name, function name, or built-in variable in the script editor. Octopath was also a nice change of pace from strictly 2D or 3D. Yeah, 2.5D is really popular right now. It's very it's in vogue. I like that. Like, I haven't gotten tired of it. Congratulations, Maroon. You are not very stinky. That's pretty good. When you do any of these, a window pops up. Type to search for any item. You could also use it to browse available objects and methods. Double-click on an item to open the corresponding page in the script main screen. W hygiene needs more stink. It's true, you like to do the sniffer. I wonder why my what's it called? Chat broke earlier. McCoy. Nice. Okay, so this is cool. I like this. This is very new person friendly. Forgot to say, I love the new subscription badges. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it just looks cleaner. Before they were they weren't quite the correct ratio. And I realized whenever you're doing pixel art, if you need something that's multiple sizes, you should work in the smallest size that you'll need. So for example, in for Twitch badges, you have to upload them at, I think it's like 28 pixels. No, it's less. I think it's 18 pixels. And then it doubles, and then it, from the base number, quadruples. So you want to do 18. You want to make it size 18 pixels. And then you double it. And then you put it at like 400%. And then you get all of your stuff. Because if you go with the middle option and try to reduce the size, then you lose pixels and your image becomes wonky because you have to increase and decrease by whole numbers, or rather by hundreds. Else the ratio gets all thrown off. Yeah, work small. So yeah, if you have to, so for example, creating emotes or creating badges, create it as literally the smallest size and then size it up afterwards. Oh, you're good. No worries. Yeah, work on your smallest unit and just make it bigger from there. Yeah, no worries. Work smoother, not harder. Yeah, yeah. What's kind of cool about uploading badges and stuff individually, you could theoretically have changes to your badge with the higher resolutions, but I think that gets confusing, so I didn't do that. And that's more work. My bird has been stinky. So trying to clean up a bit at a time. Yeah. Microorganism. Oh, it's true. They are. So small. God, someone like launched themselves. That was wild and or crazy. That's one of my lines. Like we were talking about how parrots just memorize and repeat stuff. Saying that's wild and or crazy would be one of mine. I love that line. I appreciate it. Okay. This page is up to date to 4.2. Excellent. We like it when it's up to date. Godot is a feature-rich engine. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Making the most of this manual. What you're reading now is the user manual. It documents each of the engine's concepts and available features. When learning a new topic, you can start by browsing the corresponding section of this website. Okay. The manual has a companion class reference that explains each of Godot's classes available, functions, and properties when programming. While the manual covers general features, concepts, and how to use the editor, the reference is all about using Godot's scripting API, application programming interface. You can access it both online and offline. We recommend using the reference offline. From within the Godot editor, to do so, you go to Help, search Help, or press F1. It tells you where the class exists in the inheritance hierarchy. You can also click the top links to jump to parent classes and see the properties and methods a type inherits. Class, character body, inherits, physics body, 2D, collision object 2D, node 2D. Okay. A summary of the class's role and use cases. An explanation of the class's properties, methods, signals, enums, and constraints. Oh, and constants. My bad. Ah, I see there's a duel on screen. But does McCoy accept? This again, why? Woo! Go! I must reclaim my honor. Explanation of the classes. Yep, read that. Links to manual pages, further detailing the class. If the manual or class reference is missing or insufficient information, please open an issue in the official Godot docs. GD Hub repository to report it. Good fight. Good fight. Best 2 out of 3. Not a crit. It's not looking good, McCoy. Sag. Sag for you. I'm so sorry, I doomed you. Unfollowing SMH. Oh, I'm sorry, It was nice knowing you. I'll only cry for a few nights. Wait. I hope that didn't sound too rude, though. Let's see. Whoa. Yes, this is the whole thing. The Harvard free courseware. Oh, yep, I do need that. Thank you, McCoy. I haven't had any water today. Ah, no. Oh, thank you so much for the eye rest. I appreciate you. I rest now. Yes, rest the peepers. I actually really love those sprites I made for the eyeballs. Well, it's one sprite, but I love that I put it like it repeats, so it's both the eyes. And I think it's fun. I like it. Did you know that there are people, scientists, who are arguing that the eyes are part of the brain? Like, literally a portion of the brain should be included. They're battling it out. Like it's actual brain tissue, allegedly. I don't think I agree with them. I could see the nerves leading up to the eyes being brain tissue. Yeah, there's an argument that the eyeballs are part of the brain. I personally, the problem I have with eyes being part of the brain is that it's not neurological tissue. I'm listening. I also see, but I'm unsure how to lean on that. Yeah, yeah. So I don't mind the nerves leading up to the eyeballs because that's you know, nerve tissue. That's fine in my books. But I think of the brain as being brain tissue and extracellular fluid, and I guess connective tissue. Like, that's fine. Sure, that's part of it. You gotta have connective tissues. But the eyeballs certainly have more cells than that. Yeah, so apparently the argument is that the brainstem is the end of the brain. So since the eye nerves connect into the brain stuff's... Well, hold on. The brain stuff's connected to the eye nerves. The eye nerves connected to the eyeballs. That's why they are like, aha, by technicality, eyeballs be brains. So I think I understand the logic behind it. Yeah. I think that's the basic logic, is like the brainstem is the end of the brain. And the eyes are directly connected to the brain by their nerves. They don't go through the brainstem whatsoever. Therefore, by that logic, eyeballs are brain tissue. Or part of the brain, rather. My ears are part of my brain because I hear too many things. Your ear stuff goes through the brainstem, though. I know you joking, but the only body part that bypasses the brainstem in terms of neurological functions are the eyes. Gotta head home. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out, Captain Spacey. I appreciate you. I leave now. That's a good one. I do like it. That was good. Yeah. So the basic logic is it doesn't go through the brainstem, therefore it's a portion of the brain. So I respect the hustle, but I disagree. I think it's a poor definition of brain. It also really messes with our delineations of like scope of practice. Because right now neurologists just do the neurons connected to the eyes, like that's still part of their domain. If they say that eyeballs are part of the brain, then their scope of practice would extend into eye stuff, and that's stepping on the toes of optometrists as well, and ophthalmologists. The ears and nose don't go directly into the brain. They go through, the neurons go through the brainstem still. They don't directly connect to the brain. The only thing that does that on our body is our eyes. Everything else goes through the brainstem. Interesting? Oh, interesting. I like it. That's a good way of saying it. I like it. What are other science facts or cool little things you got? It's mostly sad stuff. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Jumping spiders can see the moon. That's cool. I'm sitting up. Human stuff? Okay, eye convergence issues, because I have those, are typically a neurological problem. And it's the innervation, which means like the attachment of nerves in. So the innervation into the muscle. So the attachment of nerves going into the muscle to provide neurological signals to the what's it called? Muscles of the eye, which there are many that surround the eye. They're not inside the eye. The innervation is like the signals provided are not strong enough or they're too strong in a certain area. So my right eye drifts outward. Both of my eyes drift a little. My right eye, I know for sure, drifts outward. So either the innervation on the muscle lateral or like to the outside away from the middle of my body are stronger. Like the innervation is stronger there, or the muscles in the inner eye portion are less strongly innervated, or like the signals are not as, it's the innervation isn't weak, it's the signals provided. Okay, I'm looking back. The sadder the better. Big point spender now, yeah. Oh, O'Neill, we were talking about language earlier and Ruby brought up dolphins. Yes! Yes, I brought up dolphins. Pigs can't look up. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Good eyes. I have special eyes. Oh, there's like all kinds of crazy research people do, Maroon. I don't know how they would have tested that, but I believe them. Let's see, Ram says, oh, same. My eyes don't converge at the same point. Yeah. So it's like causes ever so slight double vision depending on how close or far away it is. Oh, thank you so much for the lurk support, Gamer Angel. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate your joke, Oatmeal, about they look up. Oh, you reminded me that I ordered glasses. Oh, yeah, go check that tracking. But yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that researchers do. Okay, I can teach you another one. It's more cognition, which is, I can tell you more cognitive and neurological facts. Let's see. I have thoughts about dolphins. Yeah. Do you ever get eye spasms? Like if you focus too hard, your eyes go crazy. So they don't like move randomly. Well, so it's just more like a slower drift. If my eyes get fatigued, my eyes start to drift or they start hurting and I get a headache. So my right eye, sometimes if I'm sleepy, it's been a long day or I've been doing a ton of reading, my right eye will drift outward from my body. And that anatomically we say lateral for that because it's away from the midline of your body. So it has that lateral movement and I have to make a conscious effort to like blink, look somewhere else for a while, give my eyes a rest, and look forward again. I have done testing with my eye convergence where after the testing, I could not read at any distance for 20 minutes because my eyes from the testing were so fatigued. I never had that happen before, but it happened during that testing. But yeah, I literally couldn't read for 20 minutes and everything was blurry because my double vision at that point was so severe because the muscles in my eyes were really weak. Yeah. It's not a regular occurrence. Usually I just start getting so like increased double vision, but I could usually still read. Let's see. Ram says, yes, if it's super close to my face, it makes my eyes shake. Yeah. occupational therapists believe it has something to do on my having dyslexia. Oh, yeah. I mean, they impact each other, right? It's usually somewhat neurologically based, but knowing the cause doesn't really, at this point in our like medicine, doesn't really impact us in terms of how we treat it, because all we know is strengthening those muscles through eye exercises can help alleviate it and improve our eye convergence. No, it's not becoming dyslexic. Dyslexia is different. And we don't necessarily fully understand dyslexia, but one of the examples is it's harder to read, especially letters like P, B, D, like all these lowercase letters that are very similar because you don't maintain the correct orientation in your brain. And those letters are very easy to mix up. And it's interesting. So basically, humans are really going not against our nature, but reading is not a natural process. We really have to learn. Language, supernatural process. So it's just our genetics. Sometimes we have lower priority things, and our bodies, we didn't need to read to survive, essentially. So it's fairly common to have difficulty with dyslexia because of the fact that it's really not a natural process for us. It's a good thing that we learn to do it, but it's not really a natural process for us. Glasses are going to ship soon. Excellent. Not good with keeping up those exercises. Yeah, me neither. Reading was a mistake. Ruby 2024. I've gotten better as I'm reading more. Like I noticed a very distinct improvement when I started being a bookworm again. And also when I was in my master's program. It's a pain in the butt. Reading, writing, things with letters. I'm pretty sure I have some amount of dyscalculia because I have so much trouble keeping numbers in my head or picturing what a number being spoken is said. Like, I need to ask people to repeat, wait, how many thousand? Or like, I'll say 505 when it's 5050, you know, stuff like that. That's why I read on stream, because otherwise I won't do it. I mean, other than chat and other casual stuff. Yeah. It's good. Gosh, there's a lot of cool stuff I could talk about in terms of like cognition, neurology. I'm not a neuroscientist, but there's still a lot of cool stuff that's fairly simple. I feel it, Ruby. It's a major struggle for me at work. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's hard. One fun bit of the therapy I was in, though, I'm allowed to use rhythm games as an exercise because I have to trace the notes and correlated the notes with a movement response. Oh, very cool. That's neat. One moment. Simultaneous visual and auditory tracking. Yeah, yeah. Automate the boring stuff with Python? That sounds fun. I heard Python is a really good starter language because just like Godot, which is probably why they decided to base their language, the GD script, off of Python, is it really relies on that hierarchy as well. Is not knowing the alphabet as a 21-year-old bad? Well, were you taught it? Did someone teach you? Me learning full stack dev stuff right now. Oh my gosh. Oof. Hyper's a real one. Like, my gosh. What a Chad. Learning crazy programming stuff. Oh yeah. They have active communities where people can ask questions, which is excellent. What language? Oh, languages, my bad. It's not even crazy. I'm just a silly little goober. Self-teaching? Self-wedding? Self-teaching? Self-teaching. Yeah. The X is next to C. I'm so sorry too. Like I hope I didn't sound like I had attitude when I was like, self what? JavaScript with an HTML. Cool. Okay, but what for backend? Oh, McCoy. McCoy's a real one too. No, not attitude, just confusion. Excellent, excellent. Or it was just confusion. Sometimes people do misconstrue my sudden loud confusion as frustration. I will say that. The best place to ask questions are the official questions and answers site. Okay. Describe your... Okay, I'll read this if I want. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, sharing a video of your running game can be really useful to troubleshoot your game. You can use programs like OBS. Ooh, it's a big sibilant sound. Backend? And it's not full stack, is it? Okay, can someone give me a brief explanation? If you have time. I don't want to distract you from your, what you're doing. But I don't actually understand full stack. We haven't gotten to that part yet. We're just doing... Well, I think I understand why you said it that way. Doing front end first before we get into it. Yeah. I'm like, it's clever. Front end, what you see on the page. Back end, secrets behind the screens. Full stack, front and back end. Oh. But aren't there always back end processes then? Like, if you are... That's a lot of stack. But yeah, aren't there like always... Yeah, but not every dev does every part. Okay. Got it. Like me, hate front end. Oh, interesting. Like UI and stuff. Did not make me design. All right. Noted. I appreciate it. I do like trying to make layouts pretty, but I'm really bad at it. Like, I really need to work on this BRB screen. It's just so simple. Oh, I have a fun idea to oh no. How dare. Not the schmads. I hate front end for the same reason. Let me touch the brainstem. Okay. I mean, if there was a designer that was like, oh, take this, but make code, I can do. Don't make me design it, though. Got it. Yeah, I do like this derpy song. All my music is royalty-free by Kevin MacLeod. This is all, like, I could have 24 hours of music if I went through all of his music. But I think as it stands, I have like a 10+ hour playlist. He does have a very big library. I suggest looking at it from genre. Yeah, Kevin's great. You just have to make sure you follow his licensing, because he does require you to use a template for giving credit. So you'll see below my About Me a section for music. That's all stuff that he requires. You could do it a few ways. He initially says, oh, you can like list all the songs on like the streaming website or whatever that you're on. And if you have too many songs to do that, then you're allowed to link to another location that has all of the songs listed. But you have to list all of his songs that are in your playlist. Which, if you're using a music program, generally you can copy the names of all the songs very quickly. Okay. Weird. I think I'll look into it. Excellent. What was I saying? I had an idea. And then it went poof because there were ads. What did I have an idea for? Huh. I should have written it down. House mad. Let me look in chat real quick. Front end. Back end. Oh, that's right. Okay. I remember now. I want to... You know how my BRB screen has pictures of my lizards? What I want to do is I want to make like trading card style frame around it. And I think it'd be really cute, like I'm thinking more so like baseball card-esque rather than like Magic the Gathering. And then the Be Right Back could be like stacking those cards on top of each other periodically. I think it'd be really cute. Turning my limzards into like trading cards. Like who could reject Stealth Gek and the glorious, I don't know what he, fair. I don't know what to put for that boy. The wrinkly one. Splatgek. The little blep. Hooktail. I don't know. Like just stuff like that. Puppy eyes. Which ones will be the SSR? I'm horrible with acronyms. I'm so sorry. What does that mean? Super, super rare? You know, fair. I think we have to vote on it. The rarity. Yeah, we'd have to vote. I was thinking I would probably apply an overlay for like foil cards. Y'all, I don't actually do trading card games, so I don't know all these acronyms. Okay, Ruby chat got a jet. This has been fun. Oh, thank you so much for hanging out, Wilshire. I hope you have a fantastic, I assume day, but if not, evening. A fantastic time. There we go. Insert appropriate time span here. Can one of you send one of your pets or something to beat me next time I decide to take my car to a shop for an oil change? I got reminded why I hate it. Oh, they're rude. They were rude. Normal, rare, ultra rare, super rare, super, super rare. Evening, gang. Got it. Later. Take care. Thank you. It's like 2:30 p.m. for me. Their filters are smaller than ones I can buy. Oh my gosh. That's awful. Secret. Wow. That's a fancy one. I need to use a pipe wrench to get it off. Oh no. Road of them. Godot's design philosophy. Where am I in the documentation? Oh, right here. Okay. Every game engine is different and fits different needs. Please watch Godot explained in 5 minutes. I'll watch it another time. Object-oriented design and composition. Godot embraces object-oriented design at its core, with its flexibility, scene system, and node hierarchy. It tries to stay away from strict programming patterns to follow an intuitive way to structure your game. For one, Godot lets you compose or aggregate scenes. It's like nested prefabs. You can create a blinking light scene and a broken lantern scene to use the blinking light. That uses the blinking light. Then create a city filled with broken lanterns, change the blinking light's color, save, and all the broken lanterns in the city will update instantly. On top of that, you can inherit from any scene. Object-oriented programming? Yeah, so Hyper, if you are interested in using an engine for like a little project, Godot does seem up your alley because I know you really like object-oriented programming. It basically kind of forces it, which is kind of rough. But overall, it's a good infrastructure if you prefer object-oriented systems. Coding and programming is all fake. Ah. What makes you say that? I should probably wrap up in half an hour. Unfortunately. Let's see. Code scene could be a weapon, a character, an item, a door, a level, part of a level, anything like that. Anything you like. It works like a class in pure code. Oh yeah, I know what a class is. I know classes. Does that mean I could reference a class in a separate tree? Or rather, a node in a separate tree? I hope so. You've been watching a blank screen the entire time. JK, JK. So you're free to design it using the editor, using only the code, or mixing and matching the two. What do you mean by fake? It's different from prefabs you find in several 3D engines, as you can then inherit from and extend those scenes. You may create a magician that extends your character, modify the character in the editor, and the magician will update as well. Yeah, that makes sense because it's the whole inheritance thing. It helps you build your projects so their structure matches the game's design. I'm not real. None of this is real. I'm just a bird that doesn't actually exist. Also, note that Godot offers many different types of objects called nodes, each with a specific purpose. Nodes are a part of a tree and always inherit from their parents up to the node class. Although the engine does feature some nodes like collision shapes that a parent physics body will use, most nodes work independent from one another. In other words, Godot's nodes do not work like components in some other game engines. Sprite 2D is a node 2D. Oh yeah. Oh, a node 2D, a canvas item, and a node. It has all the properties and features of its three parents, like transforms or the ability to draw custom shapes and render with a custom shader. All-inclusive package. Godot tries to provide its own tools to answer most common needs. It has a dedicated scripting workspace, an animation editor, a tile map editor, a shader editor, a debugger, a profiler, and the ability to hot reload locally and on remote devices. So I've heard that their tile map stuff isn't so great. Like their tools with creating a tile map and stuff like that. But I don't know. Gotta try it. I'll probably import tile maps from Sprite. I've heard though that if you create some kind of like algorithm for the program automatically placing tiles. So some people, they will, for example, a 2D platformer, they'll draw out shapes that are a basic version of their tile map, like functionally. So like a square, a slope, inner corners, stuff like that. And you apply the basic version of the tile map, and then it'll convert to randomized tiles within certain rules. So maybe you have 3 tiles that are just squares, because a repeating tile map of just squares isn't very interesting. It's very clear where it starts and where it finishes. So adding some variety in your tile maps is a good thing, especially if it's a highly used tile. So there's ways to allow the program itself to auto select random tiles that match that tile. I've heard that it's not so great on Godot, and some people will create a plugin to do it from somewhere else. I don't know. I'll have to look into that another time, because I don't even need a tile map for what I'm doing, which is nice. goal is to offer a full package to create a continuous user experience. You can still work with external programs as long as there's an import plugin available in Godot for it, which there definitely is for Asprite. Or you can create one, like the tile map importer. Oh! Yeah, interesting. That is also partially why Godot offers its own programming language, GDScript, along with C#. GDScript is designed for the needs of game developers and game designers, and it tightly integrates in the engine and the editor. So this is important. I didn't realize that Godot would require importers, like importing plugins, well, using plugins to import stuff from the outside. I just thought like I could file drop or something, but the more I know. It's interesting. That's also partially why Godot offers its own programming language. Oh, sorry. I already read that. GDScript lets you write code using an indentation-based syntax. Yet it detects types and offers a static language quality of auto-completion. It's also optimized for gameplay code with built-in types like vectors and colors. Note that the GD extension, you can write high-performance code using compiled languages like C, C++, Rust, D. I've never heard of D. Is it pronounced hacks? Hakes? I don't know. It's Swift without recompiling the engine. Note that the 3D workspace doesn't feature as many tools as the 2D workspace. You'll need external programs or add-ons to edit terrains, animate complex characters, and so on. Godot provides a complete API to extend the editor's functionality using game code. See the Godot editor in Godot game below. That's something I've heard. So Godot is designed for both 2D and 3D. However, you need to think about, if you're doing 3D, you need to think about what you need for your particular 3D game and download plugins to fill out the rest of the functions you require. Or design your own, as it says. I've heard that Godot is fantastic for 3D, though. It's great for both 2D and 3D. It's just 2D, you don't have to download as many plugins. Yeah. I think there's some official plugins. Well, okay. Technically, they're all official if they're on the website. But Godot does not update, like they're not in charge of updating all of them. Some of them are just users, and they might update with the versions, they might not. Let's see. Oh, I see. This is like a more complicated map. So there's walking, and there's like, it can transition into flying. It can, if you run out of fuel with, oh, I see. So walking, if you use the jetpack, then you're flying. And if you run out of fuel or get hit by an enemy, then you start falling and you hit the ground, you get stunned. That's a cool map. I like that little flow grid. I want to finish up this page. Open source. Godot offers... Yep, okay. I know that you're open source. Thank you very much. Oh, that's right. Some of the plugins, because Godot doesn't own all of them, it's just they have to approve of plugins. So they'll like take a look at your plugin and make sure there's no malicious code. And that's why I meant by it's sort of like they're all official. Because they check to see if there's anything malicious. And once it's approved, it's added to the asset library. Or the plugin assets. Let's see. Yep. Community driven. I understand this concept. The Godot editor is a Godot game. The Godot editor runs on the game engine. It uses the engine's own UI system. It can hot reload code and scenes when you test your project, or run game code in the editor. This means you can use the same code and scenes for your game, or build plugins and extend the editor. This leads to a reliable and flexible UI system, as it powers the editor itself. With the @tool annotation, you can run any game code in the editor. Let's see. Oh, this is giving credit. This is RPG in a Box, which is a voxel RPG editor made in Godot 2. It uses Godot's UI tools for its node-based programming system, and for the rest of the interface. Put the @tool annotation at the top of the GD script file, and it will run in the editor. This will let you import and export plugins. Create plugins like custom level editors, or create scripts with the same nodes and API you use in your projects. The editor is fully written in C++ and is statically compiled into the binary. This means you can't import it as a typical project that would have a project Godot file. Oh, I don't care about that. That's all good. Outside of scope. Separate 2D and 3D engines. Godot offers dedicated 2D and 3D rendering engines. As a result, the base unit for 2D scenes is pixels. Even though the engines are separate, you can render 2D in 3D, 3D in 2D, and overlay 2D sprites in an interface over your 3D world. Okay, I understand being able to render 2D within a 3D environment. Oh, well, okay. I guess that means you could have 3D. It's like we talked about before, where we can have 3D sprites and a 2D environment. I wonder if that's what they mean. Like 3D objects inside a 2D world. That's probably what they mean. Okay. Well, I might just swap over to talking with any folks who want to say a little something, chat for a little bit before I go. But I'm going to be generally looking for someone to raid into and prepping for that. Let's see. Do you feel like an art stream? I have a lot of art streamers. I don't have game developers right now. I have people who are playing games. Okay. How about this? I know a comfy streamer who is playing Minecraft right now. His name is Vokas. He's, as is my favorite line to say, a delightful individual. I will link in case people get left behind. But he's a good bean. I really enjoy hanging out with him. And for real, this has been so helpful to be able to work on this with y'all. Because some people have been able to answer some of my questions. And other people are, you know, just generally being very supportive, and I appreciate that. Niku Makui. Well, I plan on streaming again tomorrow. I'm hoping I can stream early again because I tend to be more productive in the morning. Well, shoot. I should probably... I'll do a poll in my Discord. For anyone who's not in there, you may choose to join if you wish. But I'll do a poll in my Discord to see what people would like to do tomorrow. Because I could stream a little bit later and play a game. Can't type because Litten. Thank you for Stram. I appreciate you. Doing tons of cool things and doing great with them. I appreciate you, Ram. Thank you so much. This is exactly the type of motivation that, like, the kind words that really help me keep going. Thank you, Darth. Honestly, thank you, everyone, for being here. It is a great way to keep me accountable and motivated. Here we go. So, let it be known that Ruby's a great motivator. Finally got the filter off in time. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you were able to get that done. That's honestly great work. Make sure you do something like fun and nice for yourself when you're able to. Oh, is he done? Oh, he's done. Okay, cancel raid. He's done. Okay, I was able to cancel it in time. Rip. Okay, let's similar or smaller size. Let's look. Okay. Gay Biscuit is a cool dude. I think we raid into Gay Biscuit. He looks like he's playing Sticky Business, which is a really comfy game. Really comfy. Let me see. I want to click. How do I want to get the link for your channel. Well, I'll get it when I get there. Okay. We're gonna get Gay Biscuit. Thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate you. I hope if you have meals ahead of you today, that they are delicious and give you the energy you need. If you are, well, whenever you decide to go to sleep, I hope it's very restful. And I hope that you engage in some self-care when you're able to. Do something like, you know, a walk. Oh, oh, never mind. I thought that someone was. Did it not work? Interesting. Let me look at my thing. It didn't. No, it's ready to raid. Okay, cool. It's happening. Goodbye. You're all the best. What? Right now. Come on.